Hi, this is Involved Innovation YouTube channel. In this video, we are going to see how to create a Wordle clone in ReactJS. And before starting this video, I will just give a gist about what this Wordle clone and what we are going to build here. If you are familiar with this Wordle, just feel free to skip this section and you can go directly to the coding section. So for the people who don't know what Wordle is, you need to find a 5-letter word, and that word you need to find in 6 tries, and for each and every try you can able to find the characters which is present, which are not present in the word we need to find, and we can also able to see if the character which is in right position or not. For example, first very good word to go with is edu because it has most vowels. Here the gray symbolizes that this character is not present in the word, and then the yellow symbolizes that this character is present in the word but it is in different position. I will go with the second good one which is port. This is the word usually I try the second time. So here the green symbolizes that we got the word in a correct position. We got the 3 characters. Now we need to go with a different try, like which has O, I and R. For me it looks like irony. Just we will give a try. Oh yeah, we got it. The irony is the word which we need to find, and we found out. This is what we are going to build. So here I found that in 3 tries. So here I added one cool feature. So Wordle, you will get only one word per day, but here if you want to play multiple times, then you can able to have this refresh button. So if I click this refresh button, then it will create a brand new word. So if I click this, then everything wipes off and we will be starting up the brand new game. So for this, I have taken the data from this link, the link of which I have given in the description, and all the code which you are going to see in this video are present in my GitHub repository, the link of which I have given in the description. And to start with, I have cleaned up this data to put in map data structure. So here this map has 26 key, and each key is a character in English alphabet. We will have A as a key, and we will have the value as array, and that array holds all the words which starts with the letter A. So that is same for B, C, D and to Z. So we will have 26 entries in this map. For each and every entry, we will also try in the dictionary whether that word is present or not. For this, I will use npx create react app. Here first we will open the command prompt, and here enter the command npx create react app, and then followed by it we will give the app name. So here I am just giving it as Wordle. It will create a skeleton project in ReactJS application. Yeah, now we have created a skeleton project. Now we will go inside the folder which got created. Try to open this particular directory in Visual Studio Code. Yeah, now the current directory got opened in the Visual Studio Code. We don't need the logo here, so delete this logo. Move to recycle bin, and we don't need this as well. Delete this, and we don't need this setup test, so delete this. And then index.js, we don't need this because we have already deleted this one, and then we might need index.css, so we will keep that for now, and we will remove this. Next, go to the app test. We might not need this app test.js, so delete this file, and then go inside app.js, and then here we don't need all this stuff. This will create a nice functional component with the file name, and we will go inside this app.css. So we may not need everything in this app.css, but we need this file, so we are selecting everything and then we are deleting this. Now we are done with our basic setup. For this, I have already created the data, and as I mentioned, I got that from the URL, and then I did some cleanup activity. So we will try to get that from my GitHub repository. So for that, I will create a new folder named constants. So here in this folder, we will try to place all the constants, and I will name this constant as data.js. Now we have copied and pasted the data.js, and then we will start with another constant, and for this we will create the keys. Going to create a multi-dimensional array, and this multi-dimensional array has 3 different rows. First row as the first row in our keyboard, and second as the second row in our keyboard, and third as the third row in the keyboard. For that, I will create a new file named constant.js, we will create keys. As I mentioned, here we have 3 different rows, and first row mentions the first row in the keyboard, and second row mentions the second row in the keyboard, and the third row mentions the third row in the keyboard. Here I have the Unicode character. This Unicode symbolizes the backspace. First we will try to create a board data. I am creating a use state. So use state snippet. Variable name is board data. This is fine. I am making this B as capital letter. I will try to get this variable directly from the local storage, because whenever people refresh, I don't want to create a brand new game. I want them to continue with where they left. So to make this easy, I will create a local storage so that it will be always saved in the browser, unless and otherwise they clear it off with the reset button. So for this purpose, just try to parse the local storage data, and then we will supply this as the initial data for this board data. So JSON dot parse, this is to parse the JSON data, because we will be storing the board data as a JSON in the local storage. So local storage dot, here we need to get the item. So here with get item we can able to supply the key, and if you supply the key, if that key is present in the local storage, then we can able to get the particular associated value associated with that particular key. So here we will create a key named board data. So I will try to return the board data here. As of now, this board data is not present in our browser, so we will be creating this as part of use effect. We need to set the char array. So each and every time when you type for the particular row, this char array holds the data. I will create another use state. Here I can give it as char array, and then I will initialize this with empty array, and then I will make this C as capital letter. Now we will try to create a use effect. Use effect will be triggered each and every time when the supplied array variable changes. Use effect snippet. So here you can supply the variables. For example, if I supply the variable board data, whenever the board data gets changed, then this use effect will be invoked. But in this case, I want this use effect to be invoked only one time, that too when this application loads. So in that case, I can make this as a empty array. So if you make this as empty array, then it will be invoked only once. That time we will try to set up the data. Here we need to check if the board data is empty or not, because if the board data is empty, then we will create a new data and we will store this as part of the local storage. If the board data already has value, we don't want to do anything over there. So, and then also we can check if the board data has a valid solution to it. First we will try to get a random alphabet, and from there we will get a random word. So for that I will try to create a variable named alphabet index equal to math.floor math.random into 26, because we know there are 26 characters in the alphabet, so we will give it as 26. So this is always hard coded. And next we will try to get the word from the alphabet which got picked randomly. So here we need to get the word index. So for that I will do it as word index, and here we will try to give another math.floor, and inside this math.random word list, we will be importing this word list. So this word list will be coming from the data.js which we have already created. Here what we need to do is we need to get the word list. To get the word list, we need to get the alphabet index. So this will be randomized here. For example, if we got A, then we need to get the array length of the values it holds. So here in this case it should be like we need to pass A here, and then we need to get dot length. So here we are not sure what character we have, because that is also randomized. So in that case what we can do is we can use the string dot from char code. This will convert the number to a character. So what we need to do is we need to add 97 to the alphabet index which we are finding in the line number 10. So here 97 plus alphabet index. So this is perfect. Now we have our word index. Now we got a random word. Next we will try to initialize the board data. So we will create a new variable named new board data equal to, we will be using the board data, 3 dots followed by board data. First thing what I will be giving is a solution. The solution is the one which we found in the line number 11. So solution is word list string dot from char code 97 plus alphabet index, and the second one is the word index. So we can just directly give the word index. Row index, the row index is used to hold the current row in which the user is entering the data. So initially the row index will be 0 when people are starting. So after each and every try, this will be incremented till 6. Board words, so board words holds the list of words the user entered the board. For example, if you have completed 3 different rows, then we will be having 3 different words in the array. We also have board row status. So this board row status holds 6 arrays, and each array holds 5 different values, and here 5 values are, it can be present, or it can be absent, or it can be correct. We will be storing it as correct if the character position is correct, and we will be storing if present if the character is present in the word and it is not in the correct position, and we will be storing absent if the character itself is not present in the word. And we will be creating 3 different array. One is present character array, absent character array, and correct character array. This will be sent to the keyboard. We will be also changing the color keys in the keyboard based on whether it is present or whether it is correct or whether it is absent. So to track this thing, we will be storing 3 different array. One is present char array, absent char array, and correct char array. The last we will have a status. So initially he will be in the in progress state. So status is in progress. And now we have set our initial data, and now we will try to set it up this in the state. So set board data, and we will be passing the new board data here, and then we will also try to store this in local storage. Now local storage dot set item, and here we need to set it in the key board data, because this is what we are trying to retrieve here. So this should match exactly. So board data, and then comma, we need to stringify the data here before storing in the local storage. So json.stringify, and here we need to pass the new board data. This use effect will be called when the application loads, and then it will check for the board data. If the board data is not present, then it will create a brand new data, and then it will set it up in the local storage. Then the person can start with the game. And now we will create a new folder named component. In that component we will try to create a keyboard component. Okay, and RAFC, we need to get board data, and also we will create a new folder for styles. So this styles folder holds all the associated CSS, and inside that I will create a new file named keyboard.css. So I already have created this keyboard.css file. You can directly get it from my GitHub repository. So first we will start with our starting div. So I will try to cover this with parentheses, and then here I will give the class name as keyboard rows, class name as keyboard rows, and then here we need to get keys, and we have already created this keys in the constant. So we need to get it from there. Flower brace keys dot map. We need to map for each and every row first. So we need to get the item, and then we need to get the index, and we will be creating a function here, and we are returning this function directly. So we will be using this parenthesis here. Whenever you give this parenthesis, everything will be returned. So if you are giving the flower brace, then you need to write your own return statement, otherwise nothing will be rendered in the UI. You need to create the individual keys. So I will create a div here, div, and then here class name. This class name is row, and then we need to have the key as index, and then inside this I will be trying to create buttons, opening a new flower brace, and then item dot map. So this item has a row value, this array value. So here we have this QW, so we need to create button for each and every character, item.map. So here we will be getting key, and then we will be also having key index. And now we need to create button, and button has the key equal to key index. So you need to change the class name based on the array which we have created. For example, if the character is present in the correct char array, then you need to change the color of the button accordingly. If the character is present in present array or in absent array, you need to change it accordingly. So you need to have a dynamic class name. So for that I will use class name, and here inside this I will create a new flower brace and followed by $sign, and here we will be checking whether the board data is empty or not, and then next followed by it we will be checking board data dot correct char array dot includes this particular key. If it includes this particular key, then we can give the class name as key correct, because this is a class name which we have created in the keyboard.css. Then we need to check whether this character is present in present array or in absent array. Next what we can do is we need to check board data is valid, and then board data dot present char array dot includes the key, and here if the key is included in the present char array, then you need to have the class name as key present, and if it is not present, then you need to check whether this value is present in the absent char array. Board data and board data dot absent char array dot includes, and here we need to add the key, and if it is present, then we need to give it as key absent. If it is not matching with any of the thing, then we need to give the class name as empty. Next is we need to create onClick equal to handle key press. So we will create a new function named handle key press, and it's better to create in the app.js. So we will be just invoking the reference here. We'll passing the key here. So here the button text will be the key, and now we will be passing this handle key press as a props. So we'll be passing it from here. We need to also import our CSS which we have created. So import style, and inside that we need to get our keyboard.css. Now we are done with our keyboard.js. Now we need to create a new function named handle key press. So this handle key press function handles the key press activity which happens in our keyboard. Constant handle key press. So here equivalent to, here we will be getting one param value. We need to write our method body here. First we will start whether the row index is greater than 5. If the row index is greater than 5, or if the board status is win, then we should ignore whatever the user enter. So first we will start with that condition. If board data dot row index is greater than 5, what that means is the user is already done with the maximum number of rows, then there is no point in accepting the input which are pressed by the user. So we are checking the row index is greater than 5, or if the user already found the word, then there is no point in accepting any more input from the user. So in that case what we can do is board data dot status, and here if it is equivalent to win, then we will be ignoring everything. So we will be just use return statement to ignore everything. And then we need to write 3 different conditions. One, if the user presses enter, and next if the user presses the backspace, and then if the user presses any other keys other than backspace or enter. So if first we will start with key enter. So key equal to enter. First we need to check if the user entered 5 characters. If the user entered 5 characters, then only we need to trigger all this operation. If the user doesn't enter 5 characters, then we need to throw error stating that not enough characters. First we will check if the char array has 5 characters. If the char array has 5 characters, then we need to get the word. So word equal to, we need to join all the characters in the char array. So char array dot join, and here we don't want to join with any particular string, so I'm keeping it as empty and I'm making it as lowercase. We need to check if the word is present in the dictionary. If the word is not present in the dictionary, then we need to throw an error stating this word is not present in the dictionary. Not word list. This is a two-dimensional array. So first index takes the character. So here in this case, we need to get the first character in the word. So word dot char at dot includes, because whenever you get the array, then you can use the includes and you can just pass the word here. If the word is not present, then you need to throw error. So for this, I will create a new function named handle error. We need to create two different states. One is to store the message, the error message, and we also have another state just to store if there is error or not. And here, this is message. This is the message we will be showing in the screen. First, to start with, this message will be null, and we will be also having another use state that is a boolean, and that is to store if there is error or not. Use state snippet, and this is error, and then initially it will have false. And if there is a error, we need to set the error. And then here one more thing we need to make sure is like this error must be gone off in 3 seconds or 4 seconds or 5 seconds. So that can be achieved using set timeout. So I will be creating a new function named handle error, and this doesn't take any parameter. And then here we need to set error as true and then set timeout. And this timeout takes a callback function as a first parameter and the milliseconds as a second parameter. So first parameter we will be creating a callback function which will be called once the milliseconds expired. So here set error will be false after the particular time. The second parameter, it takes the millisecond. So for now I will just give it as 3000. That means 3 seconds. And we will be also creating another function handle message. So that is just to show the message for the user whenever there is an error or whenever there is something which user need to be notified. So handle message, and this takes input parameter, and this is the message. And here we need to set this message here. So set message, and here set timeout, set message. And after the particular time we need to set it as null. So now we need to set the handle error here, and then the message what we need to pass here is handle message not in word list, and we need to return it here. If the word length is equivalent to 5, or if the word is present in the word list, then we need to handle that particular word. So for that I will create a new function named enter board word, and then here we will just pass the word which we have joined here. After doing that, we will be setting our char array to empty, because what that means is the user is done with that particular row. We need to increment the row index, which we will be doing as part of this enter board word, and then we need to wipe the char array here. So set char array, the empty array. We will be writing else condition here. If it is less than 5 characters, handle message not enough, that is. Error will be setting only when the word is not present in the dictionary. For all other thing we will be just setting the message constant and that function, and this function accepts the word. So word, and then we need to have our function body. And now we'll be starting up with initializing the let statement. I have created that let statement. I can copy and paste that, and I can able to explain that better. So here we have initialized each and every variable. So here this variables get the data from the board data, and match count will be initialized to 0, and then status will be board data dot status, and the row status is initialized to empty array. First we will start with setting up the row status. So we will create a for loop for var index equal to, we will start at the index 0, and then here index less than word dot length and index plus plus. Now we are iterating over the characters present in the word. If the character of the solution matches with the word, then we need to set the row status to correct. If it is not, then we need to set it to absent, and if the solution has that particular character, then we need to set it as present. So first what we can do is we need to check solution dot char at index equivalent to word dot char at index. So here, if the position is also correct and the word is also present, this is what we are trying to do here, then we need to increment the match count, because at last we need to check if the match count is equivalent to 5. That means the user has found the word. We are incrementing this match count for each and every correct character in the word. Then we will be finally checking the match count. Row status dot push. We need to push the word correct here, because this character is present as well as this character is present in the correct position. So we need to push correct here, and we need to set it up in the correct char array as well. So if the correct char array doesn't already has this, so correct char array dot includes this word dot char at index, then correct char array dot push word dot char at index. If present array dot index of, so here we need to check if the present char array has this particular character. If the present array has this particular character, then we need to remove that character from the present char array, because the same character can't be present in both present char array as well as in the correct char array. So we will be removing it if it is in present char array. Index of, we will be checking word dot char at index. So here, if this is the case, and we are checking whether this is not equivalent to -1, that means if this value is present in the present array, then we will be removing it from the present array. Present char array dot splice. The splice is the function to remove entry from the array. Present char array dot index of word dot char at index comma 1. Here this comma 1 we are passing because we need to remove only one entry from the array. Now we are done with the correct one. Now we need to start doing it for the present. So if solution dot includes word dot char at index, so if the solution includes this particular character, then we need to add this in row status dot push, and here we need to push present, and then here we need to check if the correct char array has this one or if the present char array has this one. If the present char array or correct char array has this one, then we should not add this to present char array. In other ways we can add this to present char array. So we can just copy this one and we will paste it here, and here we will copy this again, paste it here, and here replace this correct char array with present char array. So what we are trying to do is we are checking if the character is not already present in present char array and it is not present in the correct char array. If it is not present in any of this array, then we are entering this in the present char array. Now we are done with our present char. Now what we need to do is we need to add this to the absent. So if it is not present or if it is not correct, then that means this character is not present in the solution word. So row status dot push absent, and here we'll be copying this again and we'll be pasting this here, and here we need to copy this absent char array and absent char array, and we will be checking if this character is already present in absent char array, then we no need to push this. If it is not present, then we need to push. Now we need to handle the board status. If the match count is equivalent to 5, that means the user have found the correct word. Then what we need to do is we need to set the status as 1, and we also need to set up the message u1 here, u1, and in the else block, so here we need to check if the row index is equivalent to 6. That means the user have completed all their 6 options. In that case we can set the status as lost, and then here handle message hard luck, try again. try again with new word. So now we have set up the status. Now we need to add this to the board data, and then we need to set it to the local storage. Board row status dot push equal to the row status whichever we have created. We need to set the board words. So board words, and here we need to set that in the row index, and the row index equal to the word. We will be creating a new board data. We will be using already existing board data. Board words, board row status, board row status, row index. So that is row index. Here we need to increment the row index, so I am incrementing the row index +1. Next one is status. Status we have already found. So if there is no change in the status, then it will be set to in progress, because that is what we have here in the line number 14. So we'll be setting the status here, and then here we need to set the present char array. That one is present char array, and we need to set the correct char array. That one is correct char array, and the next one is absent char array. So now we have set the new board data. Now we need to add this to board data state. Board data state, new board data, and we will be also setting this up in the local storage. So local storage dot set item. Here the key is the same, board data comma json dot stringify. Here we need to pass the new board data. Now we have done with our enter board data function. Now we have completed our enter key. Next we need to start with our backspace. If the key equal to backspace, we can copy and paste the Unicode in Visual Studio Code. So here I copied the backspace Unicode. You can get that from my GitHub repository in the app.js char array dot splice. So here if the user press backspace, then we need to splice the last character which you have entered. So here this is more like a stack. If you are familiar with stack data structure, here last in first out, the last enter user data must be removed from the char array. So here to do that, we are checking the char array dot length and -1. So this make sure we are deleting the last one, and we need to remove exactly one character. And then we need to set the char array. Set char array, here 3 dots, and we are just passing this char array. Now we are done with our backspace as well, and next one is else if. We need to handle all other button other than backspace and enter button. We need to check if the character length is less than 5. If the character array length is less than 5, then we need to accept, or else we no need to accept. Char array dot push key. Set char array 3 dots char array. This is very straightforward and very simple. Here we need to just push the character array if the character array length is less than 5. Now we need to enter the current text. So whatever the user have entered, so that need to be set in the board words. For that I will create a new function named enter current text. We will be creating this function shortly, and this has char array dot join. We are joining the char array with empty string dot to lowercase. Now we will create this function, const function equal to, so this accepts word. Here we have our method body. So for this I will get the board words which is already there. Board words equal to board data dot board words, and let row index equal to board data dot row index, and we will set the board data row index equal to the word which we have entered, and then let new board data. We'll be using all the pre-existing values in the board data and creating a new object here, board data, and we will be just altering only the board words, and this is the array which we have created, board words. And here we need to just set this in the state, set board data, and here new board data. I need to also add one cool feature. As I mentioned, we need to reset when the user want to create a new word. So for that I will create a new function named reset function. So reset board. This reset board function is used to create a new solution and clean up all other fields in the board data. So here we need to do whatever we have already done in the use effect. So I can copy and paste from the use effect. So just copy everything from here and just paste it in the reset board. So here we need to get the alphabet index, and then here we need to get the word index, and then here we need to formulate the new board data, the value, and then we need to clean up the existing field, and then we need to set it up in the state. Next we need to set it up in the local storage. This is perfect. Now we have done with all the required functions. Now we need to start with our JSX. Before starting the JSX, we need to create some app.css. So I have already created the stylings for this. You can find that in my GitHub repository. So you can copy and paste this just to save time. So first we need to start with our div. So I will cover this with parentheses. We need to initialize this class name as container, and then we have div class name, and this class name is top. Div holds the header section, and then here we will create another div. So class name title, and we will just put it as Wordle clone, and then button. This is for the reset functionality. So class name equal to reset board, because we are resetting the complete board here. On click, so on click we need to do that reset functionality, so which we have already created. Reset board, and here I have the Unicode. So the Unicode for the refresh is double quotes /U27F3. Now we need to show the message here. Here if the message has a value in it, then we need to show this in a div. So div message class name message, and center we have our class name as cube 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are just creating a new array with a value 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because we know we need to create 6 rows. 5 we are creating array with 6 values, and this 6 values are nothing but the index position. So dot map, and here row, row index, class name here. So here the class name we need to give the cube row. Here this is partly static and partly dynamic. So to achieve that, flower brace and the symbol, and here we need to give cube row. This cube row is static, so this cube row will be always rendered. This row we need to create that wiggly effect. In case of error, we can do it as board data, and we can check the row equal to the board data dot row index. We will be checking if the error is set, and then we need to set the error. So here if you go back to the app.css, so this is what we have set it up here, the cube row dot error. So if the cube row and the error both are present in the same class, then we need to invoke this wiggly effect. And we are also doing this wiggly effect only for the particular row. So we are checking if row index is matching. If the row index is matching, then only we are setting up the error class. I'll be creating another array. So that array holds 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 dot map, and this is column. So I will just put it as column, and I will also put it as letter index div, and here we need to put the key as letter index. The key is row index. Here also we need to have the class name partly static and partly dynamic. Here in this case we need to set up the letter, and then we also need to change the color of the letter based on whether if it is absent or whether if it is correct or whether if it is present. So we need to set it up like class name, and we remove this flower brace symbol followed by letter. So this is a static part, and this will be always rendered, and we need to check the board data dot board row status. So this board row status is row, and then board data. So here we are checking the board row status. So here if the board row status for that particular row is not empty, then we will getting the row status value. Board data dot board row status, and here should be row, and next it must be column. If it is not there, then we need to just set it up to empty. Now we need to set up the character in the cube, board data, and board data dot board words, and we are checking the row is present or not, and board data dot board words row, and then we'll be getting the particular character from the board words. We will set up the bottom, so this bottom will have the keyboard. So div class name bottom, so we need to pass two different values to the keyboard. So one is board data and the next one is handle key press. Now we need to import the CSS app.css which we have created, and I believe we need to also import useState. I believe we might not imported the useState here, and use effect. No, I believe we are done. No, just we can check once. Yeah, everything looks good. So now we'll open the command prompt and we'll go inside this and we will issue npm start. And now our application loaded. We will go inside the application. We can able to see the application loaded up with the initial value, and it created a new solution which is veins, and then here the row index is 0, board words is empty array, board row status is empty array, present char array, we have everything, correct char array, present char array, yeah, we have absent char array, everything is there. Error or not? No error, that looks perfectly fine. And we will start with something ad. We are getting not enough letters whenever I click something, so something we screwed up, we need to see that. So here we need to put w=2. Now we'll refresh this and we will enter. Still it is not working. So here the mistake is we need to put it in the board words. Here we should not put it in the board data. So that is the mistake which we are doing. So go back here and hope everything works fine. Open application, delete this one, enter this. Yeah, now refresh this page, create a brand new word and then inspect, go to application. Now we got something like oddly. Now we will start with our testing. ADIU. By the way, this is very good word to start if you are daily playing Wordle. I found this is really good word, and then followed by it I will always give sport. So we are doing a mistake here. I believe we have if condition here and we have if condition here, and this is not else if, so even after entering enter this will go. So to avoid this we will add a return statement here and we will save this here, go back, refresh everything and get a new word and go to the application context, console, nothing is here, perfect. Application context, we have hosts. Okay, now we will start with our value, edu, enter, perfect, it looks good till now. And we have sport as the second value. Yep, this works fine I believe. And the ReactJS, enter. Yeah, we got the word and everything is working fine. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you have learned a lot from this Wordle clone. Thanks for watching this video. If you have learned something from this video, give a like, share this video